everyone. It is Friday and it's raining, which means it's kind of a perfect day to knit. I always want to knit, but when it's raining outside, it makes it even better. So I wanted to kind of just jump on and say what's up and give a little update on the current project that I'm working on. It is the porcelain sweater. It's so cute. I love it so much. I'm super excited about it. I'm a very beginner knitter, so when I picked this pattern out, I was kind of nervous. I've never done color work. I didn't know what a German short row was. I knew one cast on, one cast off method, but YouTube can teach you anything. I will link all of the videos that really helped me. This is the first thing that I've ever made like this. I'm extremely proud of it. How could I not be? Are you kidding? Anyway, I hope this video kind of gives other beginner knitters inspiration that if something looks really intimidating. I saw this pattern. It's kind of long. It's longer than I'm used to, and I would, you know, kind of read through it being like, oh my gosh, like what is that? What is that? What is that? What's happening? So it took me kind of a while to start, but then once I just cast on and start knitting, it all made sense and it all just flowed together. And if I came to a point where I didn't know how to do something, I just YouTubed it. There are a million YouTube channels and links to explain how to knit. That's how I learned how to knit, was I just Googled how to knit. Made a scarf. Pretty sick. Hopefully I can like act as an inspiration to other beginners that don't really have experience and are a little intimidated by knitting. So let me break this down. Let me talk about the porcelain sweater. So here is my porcelain sweater. This is the front of it. Some things to notice so far are my ribbing. The ribbing on the bottom is absolutely garbage. I don't know how to do ribbing that is like flat or even or like nice in any sort of way. So if anyone has any tips for me, that'd be awesome. I think something I've noticed is on the right side, it looks good. Or on the right side, it looks bad, I mean. But on the wrong side, it looks a lot better. So I'm curious if I'm like curling a lot tighter than I am knitting, because the knit stitch on the wrong side looks good, but the knit stitch on this side looks bad. But I think on the collar, I did the collar second. I think the collar looks really good, or a lot better than this right here. I just started the sleeve. I think it looks really good. It follows the same motif as this middle leaf pattern, so I'll try it on for you guys as well later. It is oversized a little bit, a slight positive increase. So the shoulder, my shoulder kind of ends here on it and it hangs down a little bit. So this like aligns really well with this motif, and then this one just like folds over on itself, which is really pretty. So anyway, you start the sweater on the back. You can see there's a little bit more of a white space up here, and you start it by casting on just here for the collar, and then you knit a row and you kind of knit in like this downward triangular shape, and then you add this first color work pattern, and then you knit the shoulders on. Knitting the shoulders on in the pattern, it's really cool. I really like it. So there are two options to knit the shoulders on. One is a German short row, which is what I ended up doing because I'd never done it before and I was really excited to learn how to do it, and I wanted to kind of challenge myself. And the other way was with a seamed together mattress stitch, which I think that's how they did it in the pattern. I also love how I'm doing it on my sweater, and I'm really psyched that I learned something new. The German short rows were not as hard as I thought. I was kind of intimidated reading the pattern, but they ended up being, you know, pretty easy to do, and I was really excited that I was able to do them so easily. After you add the shoulders, you do the front section of the sweater, the front color motif, and then you knit down to the armpits on both sides, and then you connect it in the round, which boy was I excited to connect in the round. I will say I love a purl stitch, but nothing feels as good as a knit stitch. You know, it just flows. It just flows so well. This is a weird angle for me. Oh my god! I just broke my needle! Oh. Wow, that kind of really bums me out. Okay, well, I am going to try to ignore the fact that I just broke this needle. That's such a bummer. I can't believe that just happened. You know, it's not the end of the world. Stuff happens, and reacting to things doesn't solve problems. But now I feel like I'm a real knitter because this is the first knitting needle that I've ever broken. Anyway, after you connect to the sweater under the armpits, you just knit in the round, going down. Knit regular knit stitch, super chill, super fun. I loved knitting this motif and this motif. They were really easy. This leaf motif, a little harder. It's not as like symmetrical and like rhythmatic as these two. The counting doesn't really make sense. Well, it makes sense but it's not like repetitive, so you just kind of have to pay more attention to it. I actually was watching a show when I was knitting last night, and I messed up. I have to actually pull these needles out. Oh, so maybe that's not too bad that I broke these needles, because I have to like that actually makes it easier. Ah, I do have other size 6 needles. Anyway, check out this cute bag I got for my knitting accessories. I'm putting on my little things in. I do have, yes, an extra set of size 6 needles. Okay, I'll just put them on these needles. We'll be fine. I think the sweater fits really well. Just the right size. Wow, okay. Maybe this wasn't the worst day ever. So anyway, this is the sweater. It's so cute. It's so warm. I'm going to Tahoe next weekend on a snowboarding trip, and I really hope I get this finished by then because I'd love to wear it. But we'll see. That's kind of ambitious. I feel like lately I've been kind of busy at work, so I haven't had a lot of time. I can't like focus on like knitting, especially this leaf motif. It's just kind of like harder for me to do. I think that's been the hardest part of doing this sweater so far, is just like doing the leaf motif and making sure that I'm not like pulling so tight when I do have floaters down here, because there's this one row that's like, it's floaters, like it's like 3 inches long, and I don't want to like pull it tight and then have this like scrunched in, which it kind of is a little bit, but I think once I block it, that'll fix it. The other hard part of this sweater for me was the neckband. I had never done a folded neckband before. All the neckbands I've done have been just like this, like a singular thing, and I think a folded neckband might be a little easier if it was like a neck down, top down sweater, but because I had to like fold it over with a whole sweater underneath it and then also tie it in and then bind off, that was tricky for me, and I really don't think I did it correctly, but I got it done. And at the end of the day, there are no rules to knitting. You kind of just do whatever you want and you make it work, and at the end of the day, it's all gonna be okay, you know? And you made it. This is like a one-of-a-kind, I know I followed a pattern, but this is like a one-of-a-kind unique thing. I messed up the neckband, but like that's okay, and it's mine, and that's one more thing that makes it mine. I'm just so excited to finish it. It's gonna be so beautiful. And maybe I'll do another update when it is finished. Maybe I should have done an update. I'm gonna knit a sweater for my mom for Mother's Day. I'm just gonna follow like I'm gonna get like a wool in the game knit kit. I think I want to try one of those out, and I'll do maybe like a little review of like the entire process of it. I think I'm gonna get like a super chunky one so it knits up really quickly, but yeah, I think that would be a good thing to talk to you guys about. All right, well, hit me up if you have any tips for me, especially for this ribbing situation, or like, have you ever broken a needle? I can't believe I just did that. I'm kind of thinking about it. Okay, sick. Well, thanks for listening.